Hi everyone, it's Alex from Following Alex. Today's video I'm super excited to film because I think I finally cracked the code. I used to just set yearly goals, but I would totally forget about them or kind of get lost and put them on the back burner, and then the last couple months of the year come and I'm just rushing to get it done, and that's not the way to do it. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna show you how to set monthly goals that actually work. So a method to setting goals that are sustainable, that you can be successful in, and that can be tailored to you and your situation. I'm gonna walk you through it. We're gonna do step by step. I'm going to explain to you what to do. At the end of each explanation, I'll just put a cute little, like this, a cute little pause screen. So if you want to pause and do it with me, totally welcome. Or you can just keep it going and do it at the end, or listen to it and take what you want, leave what you don't want. I am going to show a little bit of the process in my notebook, but I don't want to share too much of my goals. Goals are kind of a personal thing, but I will share some with you just so that you can kind of understand how I'm doing this. The first thing you're going to do is ask yourself, what do you want and where do you want to be? And if you have yearly goals, I do recommend using your year goals for this. If you haven't set yearly goals, think about where you want to be in a month, think about where you want to be in a year, or think about your just overall arching goals. So you don't need to get too specific right now. Write down as many as you want. We're not narrowing down yet. This is where you want to lay everything out on the page. The next big step is we're gonna analyze the month you're planning for. And we're gonna actually break down this step into 3 different sections, and you need to do them in this order. And I will explain the progression once we get through it. So analyze your month. Pick which month you're planning for. I'm currently planning for August. First, I'm going to analyze what kind of time I have available. So my free time in the month. So if you are working, if you are in school, if you have children, anything that takes up your time and responsibilities, I want you to kind of analyze that in the best way you can. So you can either look at what kind of availability you have during the day. Maybe you have the mornings or evenings. Maybe you work different kind of shifts and you have like the middle of the day. Or maybe you are so busy that you can only really commit one day a week or the weekend to working on a goal. I want you to just kind of analyze what your schedule is like and what your free time is like. Like I said, you can write this out in a calendar way. You can just make a note of how many hours or minutes a day you're willing to put towards something, but be honest with yourself. We don't want to spread ourselves too thin. So next, I want you to write any major dates in that month. So if you are like me and you plan out your month, you probably already have a month spread of every big thing coming up. Maybe you have a big work deadline, a school deadline, maybe you have a big birthday party, maybe you have a wedding, like anything that is a huge deal and is going to take up time. And I want you to write them down in a list and just look at them. Really think about how much time that's gonna take away from your free time. If you have a big school assignment due and you are saying that your free time is the evenings and the weekends, is all that time really free if you have a really big assignment due? For me, no. So you really do need to think about that. Not only do you need to look at your normal free time in your kind of daily routines, weekly routines, you need to look at that month's free time because every month is different. Let's look at our energy. So ask yourself, how do I feel? How do you feel right now? How have you felt in the last month? Do a little bit of reflection. Have you been really tired? Have you been struggling to reach your goals? Are you unmotivated? Write that down. If you are feeling more motivated than ever, if you're feeling like you can take on every day with a full force of energy, write that down. If you're just content and normal or it fluctuates, write that down. You just need to take it into consideration. Really think about how much energy you have, because if you are already spread so thin, you don't want to burn out. But if you have a lot of energy, maybe this is the month where you can catch up so that you can feel more relaxed in other months that you're feeling a little bit more burnt out, or months that you've already spent to focus on work, school, kids, family, other things. So now that you have these 3 things, you've now analyzed how much time and energy you actually have to spend on your goals. It's no good to plan monthly goals and write down like 10 huge things you want to do when you do not have the time or energy to do them. Do not be discouraged if you don't have a lot of time and energy, because I'm currently reading James Clear's Atomic Habits, and he makes it very clear that even a 1% change per month, that puts you on the path of success. Small things, small changes, small wins are so important. If you don't have a lot of time and energy and you just plan a bunch of goals anyway, you're probably not gonna reach even that 1% of success because you are gonna burn out or you are gonna start falling behind in other areas. You're not being as productive as you think. You need to analyze your time and energy. Time and energy management, huge deal, okay? Before you actually write down what your goals are going to be, you need to decide what approach to these goals you're gonna have. And I kind of have 3 different ways. You can get creative, but these are my 3 different ways I approach goals. 3. You can focus on one goal. You're just gonna pick one for this month. For example, maybe I really want to get back into yoga. That is one goal that I have. I'm gonna commit to that for the month. That's my one goal. 2, you have the option to focus on different stepping stones in each goal. So if you have 5 goals, maybe you pick little habits or projects or smaller goals that you can achieve to kind of knock something off each one of those lists. This will be a little bit more time commitment, but if you break it into smaller stepping stones, it's still manageable. Just like a little goal that can get you further in that goal. And you can do that for multiple goals if you have the time. Or 3, focus on a project or a habit that can actually help you achieve multiple goals. My example for this is build a morning routine. I want to do yoga more. I want to get outside more. I want to take more pictures. All these different things. I have these big goals I want. What if one habit that could really help me with that is waking up an hour earlier? So you see how waking up an hour earlier can apply to any of these goals, because I now have an extra hour where I could probably do a lot of these. I could go outside and do yoga outside, finish with a walk and take some pictures. It's just a little habit that I can work on all month long that will actually get me further in many of my goals. So now is the big step, but there is gonna be one more after this, but this is the major thing you've been waiting to do. Now we're actually going to write down our goals. I want you to write down exactly what you want to do. My monthly goals are going to be to get back into yoga, build a morning routine, and I want to have better energy levels. And you can kind of see how they can connect. Again, make sure you're only writing down so many that match your plan and match your energy and match your time. Don't spread yourself too thin, but also don't underestimate yourself. And things can change throughout the month. If you have to take a break on one of your goals, that is fine. Just don't quit everything completely. So now, your final step is, I want you to actually write down the process or system that you are going to use to achieve these goals. So I wrote down that I wanted to get back into yoga, I wanted to build a morning routine, and I wanted to manage my energy levels. Those are your results, but how are you going to get there? If you're gonna put the effort into planning your monthly goals, do yourself a favor and plan how you're actually going to achieve these goals. Another thing I've learned from James Clear's Atomic Habits, cannot recommend that book enough. For an example, to show you what I'm going to do, if I want to get back into yoga, something that I can do for a month, I'm gonna do a yoga challenge. That way I know I will commit to doing yoga. So now you have your goals, your systems, you have a plan to get there, you know your energy and the time that you have. If you need to readjust this at any time, you also have this all wrote down. So it's a lot easier to reorganize your goals or eliminate or add one in or anything if you already have kind of a system wrote down. So keep this wherever you wrote it. If it's in your head, write it down. Just kind of keep it, and this will serve you as a tool. And you can use this for any month. I recommend going through these steps every month because every month is different. It's a totally different month to plan for. You need to take that into consideration. And I'm gonna offer you a bonus tip before I end the video. 3 tips if you need reinforcement. Get an accountability partner, someone you check in with today. You don't even have to tell them all your goals. You can just say, hey, yeah, I actually did this today. I committed to myself. Probably pick someone that can really read you or knows you. But if you have somebody that's gonna call you out, that's really good. So you can get an accountability partner, but don't feel like you need one. If your goal process involves a bunch of little habits, I really suggest making a habit tracker. You can use paper, you can use like an online form, you can use a printable, you can use an app, a lot of options. And finally, if you really need that reinforcement, write down a reward system. For all your goals that you have wrote down for the month, write down a reward that you can give yourself if you complete them. This does not have to be an expensive reward. This doesn't even need to be a money reward. Maybe you just want to take a day where you do nothing but play a video game or play apps on your phone or watch YouTube videos. Treat that as a reward. Write it down. For example, for me, if I stick to this yoga 30-day challenge, I'm gonna get a yoga block. I really want a yoga block and I think it would help me, but I'm not doing yoga enough to justify spending money on it. But if I do this 30-day challenge, which will then kickstart my love for yoga again, I will get this yoga block. I really hope that I helped you with your goals. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave a comment. You can always message me on my Instagram. Yeah, and I really, really hope you achieve your goals this month. And if you don't, as long as you're 1% better than you were last month, you are on a path to success. Don't worry about a thing, okay? I believe in you and we got this. Bye.